that you're here. I'm Geneva Richardson and I welcome you to Silhouette Design Academy. Today we will be creating a custom cake topper. And when I say custom, I mean a custom cake topper, and I want you to create with me. So right now I want you to open up your Silhouette Studio. And today I'm going to go over what we will be covering and importing and downloading files. That's one topic. That's the first thing that we'll cover: how to import and download files directly into the studio space, and where to go for free files to download high resolution files into the studio. Now, I know a lot of people like to go to Google Images, but I'm going to show you a place where you can always go. It's absolutely for free. You don't have to put in your email or anything, and you could download these high resolution files, as many as you want to, and 9 times out of 10 you will always find what you want if you go to this one place. We will also be covering tracing once we import the file, and sometimes you don't have to trace, but I like to trace and just create more depth to what I'm creating, and I'm going to show you guys how to do that. We also will be covering offsetting and how to weld and cut settings. The go-to cut settings I always use, no matter what blade that I use, I always use these cut settings, unless otherwise, if I'm using vinyl, a lighter material like a t-shirt material or sticker material, and I will show you how I change that as well. Now, if you just want to create the cake topper and download it and start selling it right away, or customize it yourself, you could go within the member area of the SVG files if you prefer just to do that. But I do encourage you to open up your Silhouette design space and create with me, because showing you step by step and you doing it with me is just going to get you more familiar and comfortable with you using your machine. So let's get started. First things first. First, I'm going to pull this over here because I just wanted to make sure I went over the details of what we will be going through. So let me put that down. Make it smaller. I'm going to keep it right here as my go-to guide, just to know to explain to you guys as we go through it. All right, the first things first, I want you to go to your Google, Chrome, Safari, whatever you're using. This is my member area too on my dashboard. This is where you will find the files, the SVG files for Silhouette or Circuit, and then you would just click on the FVG files within the member area. So I'm going to close this out. I'm going to open it up. And this is my go-to. It's high clip art. As you can see, it's for free, as I mentioned, and you don't ever have to worry about inputting information, how many downloads you could do. It does not limit you. So we are looking for a PlayStation controller. I'm going to search. And as you can see, so many options pop up. You could go from next page to next page to next page to find whatever you need. I'm going to click on the PlayStation 4. And right here on the right hand side, this is where you download. Once you download, you just open it up. And I'm going to save this to my desktop area. Close out. Now, as you can see, it's sitting right here, and all you have to do, this is different from using a circuit, and why I love using Silhouette so much. They simplify everything for you. Trust me, it is easy. Do not be intimidated by this machine, you guys. You're gonna click on this and just drag it into your Silhouette. It's that simple. And of course, I'm going to resize it, make it smaller. Now, as you can see, it's already prepared to cut for you. You don't have to do anything. If you want to cut it like this, you could cut it like this and attach a stick on it, and that's okay. But we're not going to do that. I'm not going to make it that easy for you guys. And trust me, plus you want to add more depth and quality to your items, so they will be more sellable compared to the next person selling the same item. What's going to make your item stand out is what we are about to do together. So once you drag it and drop it, as you can see, you could cut it, but we're not going to do that. We're going to trace this. So right here in the right hand corner, open up your trace panel. Select trace area, and I'm going to highlight what I'm tracing. Once I do that, as you can see, it highlights everything. You could mess with the threshold like this to make more clean cuts or not. But this is actually okay how it highlighted. And like I said, that's why using high clip art, they give you the highest resolution and they simplify everything for you versus Google Images. So right now I'm just going to hit trace. And as you can see, it traced everything. So I'm going to get rid of this, right? Because I want this to cut out. Because in the back of it, what I'm going to do, let me make this all black. This is how you do the colors. You click right here. I'm going to make this all black. In the background, I'm going to offset it, and we are going to put a white layer in front of the black background so it could give it more of a pop. And we're also going to cut this out together. You're going to see me putting it together so we could do everything together step by step. So I'm going to highlight this. I'm going to go to the panels area and press offset. Now when I offset, here's the rule to offsetting. When you automatically press offset, this is outer. Internal offset, of course, is inner. We will cover that in another video when we're doing something that we need to use the internal offset. But this is the go-to offset right here for outer. So I'm going to click offset. And as you can see, it's at 0.125. That's too big. That's going to look horrible if you cut that out like that, like Aki. So you're going to click this. My rule of thumb is I always start at 0.50. And I'm going to apply that. You see how much better that looks? Now, before I do anything, because I just want this offset, I just want this white part to pop out, because remember, the black is going to be cut. These circles and everything are going to be cut. So I don't need this right here. So I want to get rid of this. So I'm going to press release compound path. Once I release that, I'm just going to move this over, and I'm going to get rid of all this right here. We don't need that. Okay, this is white. Let me get white. So as you can see, I created an offset white, so when they cut this out, the white would show through this. You see what I mean? Object, align center middle. So this is going to line up your products doing what I just did. Okay, so now that we have our white background, what I'm going to do, I'm going to offset this again to give it more of a pop. And this background is going to be black because I'm adding the age. Now within an SVG file that you will be downloading, I didn't include the age, so you could customize it yourself. So now I'm going to show you that we covered tracing. We're going to offset this one more time, and I'm going to show you how to weld. And then we'll be ready to cut this out, and I'm going to do that as well. So right here, click on this, the white one. You're going to offset it. When I offset that, I'm going to offset it to, remember the first one was 0.50. So I'm just going to go up 5 more. So 0, 55, and apply it. That's simple. Now again, let me erase this. Release compound path. Let's get rid of all this. I shouldn't have had that right there. I think that's what I just offset it. I should have just had the white in the background, but let's check it. Yeah, it off. Let me redo this. Scratch that, folks. Sorry. Okay. Again, offset. And I'm going to do this to 0.55. 0.55. Apply. Okay. Now here we go. I'm going to change this into black. So now, as you can see, here's everything. Here's your cake topper. And cutting this out and using a quality paper that I'm going to let y'all know where to go and purchase it is going to look so cute. So right now, I'm going to remove this. This is the part of the video where I'm going to show you how to weld. So I'm going to go over here to the text tab, which is A in your silhouette, and I'm going to write the number 16. Now, of course, I don't want to use that plain font. I want something to make it pop. So I'm going to highlight over it, go right here to my text, and here you have different text. Now, Silhouette comes with different fonts already, but you could always go to DFont. A lot of free downloads are on there, and you could download whatever font you want. And if you need help or you want me to cover a video on how to upload this, I will do so. It's simple. It's really simple. Okay, so this is the font I'm going to use. Now right here, this is where we're going to learn to weld and ungroup, because I want to bring this closer together. So I'm going to right click, ungroup, right? And I'm going to bring this together like this. And I'm going to change this one to make it a little bigger. Now let's see how I want this. 16. And right here, this is fine. So this is where we'll weld. I'm going to weld twice. First, I'm going to weld the number together, and then I'm going to connect it to the controller and weld that together as well. So I'm going to go to Object, press Modify, and you just weld it together, and there you go. Now to connect it to the controller, which I'm going to connect it to the last layer, pop it, highlight everything, Object, Modify, Weld. There you go. And now I'm just going to place everything together to resize, and to bring it to the front, because sometimes it'll go back, go to Object, Arrange, Bring to Front. Object, Arrange, Bring to Front. I'm going to highlight over this, and I'm going to go Object, where Align center middle, so it could align everything up. Align center, because of the 16 is there, so that's, don't know. I just want to see how everything looks before I cut it out. And also, if you need to resize anything, you could resize it now before you cut it out. So I know this client wants this for a 7-inch cake. So I'm going to make it 6.581. And now this is the part where you should be done with this or go over. And now we're going to cut it out. Before we cut it out, I just want to show you something. Okay, this is black. Do I have any 12 by 12 sheets? I should. Okay, so I'm going to be cutting this out together. So I'm going to go right here where you see the paper, click on that icon, and I'm going to set up from the media size because I'm not using the 12 by 12, the letter paper. I believe I have the 12 by 12 black paper, so I will be using that. So I'm going to cut these both out on the 12 by 12 paper. And now I will be stopping this part of the video. So let's go over to loading our mat and cutting this out. Okay guys, so here I have my paper set up. I am gonna sanitize before I start touching and putting together everything. Okay, I do use the paper studio mats that I get from Hobby Lobby. These mats are good. I get them when they're on sale, which they are on sale every other week. I get a 2-pack for $8 versus 15. So I'm gonna apply my tape down, and the only reason why I'm putting my black and white paper together now is because I'm using 2 of my silhouette machines to cut at the same time. When you have the business edition, you can cut at the same time, so you could do more than one project if you prefer to. So I will be cutting these out at the same time, and then I'm going to take you guys over to my machine, talk about the cut settings, sending it to cut, and show you guys what cut settings I use. So now that these are taped down, let's go over to the silhouette machines and load them and begin to cut out our project. As you can see, I already have it here. To not waste all my 12 by 12 paper, I'm just going to send it right here. Now I'm going to take this, I'm going to copy it because I'm running this on 2 machines at the same time. I'm going to paste. This is on a letter size paper, so I'm going to go to media size. I'm going to press letter, and I don't have it on my machine this way. I usually cut on my mat this way. Sorry, mat, not machine. And I'm just going to place this over here. Okay, so now I'm going to go back, and now we're ready to cut, folks. So what you do to cut out any project is you go to send. Okay, as you can see, it's on cut. You see the red area? That's everything that your machine is going to cut for you. Now let's talk about cut settings. For my material, no matter what, like I said, no matter what blade I use, I always use the cover stock heavy because I do use premium good quality cover stock to give my items more of a look appeal and a quality to where the customer opens up the package and actually sees the quality of it is, trust me, they love it. It looks way much better than the pictures. Okay, so cover stock I use 105 through 122. That's the setting I always use if I'm not using vinyl, like I said, t-shirt decals or like sticker paper. So the force speed that I use is always 33. The speed that I use 7. And the passes that I use 2. I know when I first started out 7 years ago, using the recommended cut settings in the silhouette studio, even for circuit, it was frustrating. It never worked for me, and I finally learned how to customize my own settings, and this is always my go-to, and it works for me. So now I'm going to send this to Cameo 2. This is my Cameo 2, and you don't need a new. I use my Cameo 2 for years, and it runs on it runs really well. So I'm going to send it to Cameo 2. You're going to hear it in the background. Load your mats. So now I'm going to click on this little icon, and right here my Cameo 3 is already loaded and set up for cutting. and I'm gonna send it there. I'm inside my studio, and my camera is set up in a different area, so I will show my machines running and give you guys a tour of my studios on some of my next videos. But I left it set up so we could put it together. So as you can hear in the background, everything is cutting out, and we're gonna go set this up. And when I use to set up, you need a lollipop stick, and I use the clear lollipop sticks, or you could use like black and white straw to customize it and give this cake topper specifically more of a pop using the black and white striped straws, or you could use a white lollipop stick. I'm going to use the clear lollipop stick in this particular one, and you will need your hot glue gun, and I use glue dots from the Dollar Tree to layer my items in the back, which you will see when we're putting it together. Okay, so I'm gonna stop here and proceed to go in the next area so we could put this together. And I hope you guys are cutting this out too as I'm talking. So this is the part where all the stuff is cut out and we are getting ready to put it together. This is how I put most of my toppers together. I use my precision craft glue from Barely Arts, a cake pop acrylic clear stick, and the foam mountain tape. I use it to create a 3D effect or layer my projects, and I get this from the Dollar Tree. And my tweezer from Elf. I don't like the circuit tweezers or the other tweezers that they sell like in Joann's, Hobby Lobby, and Michael's for crafting. I use a regular tweezer. It works better for me, like to pick stuff up. And I did sanitize too before I took this off the machine. Okay, so now, oh, and also you need your hot glue gun to attach the stick. So as you can see, I'm just dabbing the glue around. This is the top layer. I don't know if you could see the quality of this paper. It has little dots on it, and I use this paper because I wanted to show more of a I wanted the cake popper just to pop a little more and have a more overall quality of a look. So I don't know if you could see that, but both layers has the little dots on them. So to put this right here, and don't worry if you get glue a little bit in some areas, this glue, it dries clear. Okay, so I'm gonna use a dot, not a dot, a foam piece sticker, to put. These are really sticky. That's what I like about them. Pick this up. Right, it's not. Yeah, my nails. Okay, got you. Put that on there. So I'm gonna attach my stick with the glue gun right now, which is right here. Don't judge my glue stick either, guys. It's on my glue gun. Is a ride or die. So I'm just gonna attach this. As you can see, boom. So now to attach this piece, I'm not gonna glue it because I use a high temp glue gun and I don't want the paper to change from the heat. So I'm going to just connect some more dots. 1, 2, and there you go, guys. We have created our first project together. And like I said, I hope you guys were creating with me. But you could go upload the file, the FVG file, and just cut it right out if you did not. And that's it. That's all to it. So I hope to see you guys in my next video, which will be the Chanel little favor bags that I'm doing with the lip balm. And also I'm gonna do a video to cover where I get my paper from and where I get my supplies from. I will have an affiliate link below on that video, so you guys, if you want to purchase some items for yourself. Okay, and I hope to see you in my next video. And if y'all have some recommendations that you want to see me create a certain thing or certain items that I have within my shop on my direct site, just let me know and I'll create that. Bye.